These three assassinations of major public figures have spawned years of mystery, conspiracy theories, and debate. But perhaps the assassination of President John F. Kennedy has been the most debated in U.S. history. Now, with these documents about to be declassified, a longtime journalist and author on the case says he expects info to come out about where shooter Lee Harvey Oswald was in the weeks leading up to JFK's murder.
November 22, 1963 began with jubilation.
The president's car is now turning onto Elm Street, and it will be only a matter of minutes before he arrives at the trademark.
That quickly turned to one of the darkest days in American history.
It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Now, President Trump ordering the final documents in the JFK assassination file to be declassified, which should reveal the final chapter in what many feel has been a decades-long mystery.
The optic is they're hiding the secrets about who killed Kennedy. So those files should have been out years ago.
Gerald Posner is a longtime investigative journalist and author of the 1993 book Case Closed about JFK's death. The Warren Commission concluded Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone shooter, firing 3 shots from the 6th story of the Texas School Book Depository.
I am hoping that we will learn more about what the CIA might have known about Oswald's visit to Mexico City like 6 weeks before the assassinations.
Posner says Oswald wanted to get to Cuba, but was rejected by the Soviet and Cuban missions.
If they did know more about how unhinged he was, why didn't they tell the FBI when Oswald came back into the United States? So that would be a major embarrassment for the agency.
The Warren Commission also found the single bullet theory was true. One bullet that hit JFK in the neck is the same bullet that hit the Texas governor in the passenger seat. Posner says despite their proof being weak, he does believe the single bullet is correct based on modern ballistics expertise, though opinions vary on the science.
The tougher part of the question always is, if I'm right and it's Oswald doing the shooting, does he do it for himself or is he part of a plot?
Posner says these national and international circumstances happening at the time have fueled the theories.
The mob hated the Kennedys because Bobby Kennedy's attorney general was going out and trying to bust them up. Castro knew that the Kennedys were involved with the CIA, unleashed the CIA and the mafia to try to kill him. So the question is whether he tried to kill Kennedy first. The Russians had been humiliated at the Cuban Missile standoff with the Kennedys. They hated him.
Now it's a weeks-long wait to find out if any of those discussions were had after the president's death.
Where's the evidence to connect Oswald to any of those plotters? So I believe that there could have been plots around the table, but I just don't think that Oswald was part of them.
So when will we see all of these declassified documents? President Trump has ordered national intelligence officials to present a plan in 2 weeks for the full and complete release of the JFK records. They have 45 days to come up with a plan for MLK and RFK records. Nicole.
It is interesting because they say something like 97% of the records are already in the public archives.
Right.
But what is in the fine print of what the government decided not to release? And that's, I think, what everybody is like really kind of, anticipating. 14 days is a very fast turnaround.
For how big this case is, they have got to look at this and figure it out with the plan. And Trump is moving fast. But yeah, I mean, Posner was talking about this. He has studied this for decades and decades. He wrote a book about it. And to his point, he said, most of them have been released, but over and over again, this small chunk has never been. And that's why the optics look like they're hiding something. And that's why he says there probably isn't something hidden that's going to change history, but it is in the public interest to know what that was.
And what if those experts might be able to put something together that those federal agents weren't able to after all these decades, really?
We'll be waiting.
We will. Brianna, thank you.